take a seat real fast. Server owners and coders, content creators and streamers, showing off the community with all their features. Issues with updates, someone's mistake, new things they added, angry players it makes. Get in chat, voice your opinion, you're the community and we wanna listen. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community. The greedy peasant, he runs the show, but without his team this wouldn't be so. The queen peasant, who runs the chat with the friendly hello, make sure you say it back. Survival role play, choose a character, hold the dev accountable on every single matter. Social media and TikTok, she likes to toast. Smiley's a people person, new friends on the coast. It's the Peasant Podcast, we're having a blast with the DayZ community, so take a seat real fast. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community. The greedy peasant, he runs the show, but without his team this wouldn't be so. The queen peasant, who runs the chat with a friendly hello, make sure you say it back. It's the Peasant Podcast, we're having a blast with the DayZ community, so take a seat real fast. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community.
Welcome everybody to the stream and the Peasants Podcast. We are live from the TGP studio. We'd like to welcome you all to the conversation. First of all, we are Lady Ponce, spare mid chat like nothing else. Mr. Q in the house, the commander. Welcome, welcome, of course, the lovely Queen Peasant. How is everybody? I hope you're having a lovely, lovely weekend. We are kicking it off with, of course, another conversation about DayZ console. Today's little topic is all about 1.28 and the update. We dived on experimental to test it out yesterday, and of course we want to sit down and talk about what we found, how we found the cars, the overall mechanics, the new guns, that sort of run. So if you've had a crack or you haven't had a crack, definitely hang around, put your 2 cents in, ask some questions. Oh yes, I am here. Oh, Commander, you are more than welcome to be here. We do our little rundown first. You know my man on the right-hand side, Mr. ADKQ, Mr. Q. How you doing?
Good. Feel weird today because don't look like myself, but it's all right.
you come in a bit of a shambles. It's like you just come out of the lumberjack era.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Well, you know what it is? It's been 7 days since for the best and the worst 18 hours, 19 hours of my life. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're still getting your shit together, right? No, but you did well. You did very well. Everyone did well. That was quite a fucking epic feat.
Brother, you did well. Not everybody else. You did fucking amazing.
Nah, I'm insane. That's what it is. It's fucking ludicrous. It took me 4 days to recover. Get some sort of normal feeling about myself. My sleep pattern's still off. I went to bed at 4 a.m. last night. Like, it'll eventually return with suffering.
Well, you know, you can always be that 52 hour in the distance.
Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know if I don't know if I could go that distance. 52 hours is a
Yes.
long time. But right, let's dive into the community. Couple of things that are rolling off. Flipside Chinaris has an Easter hunt event going on currently. The locked keys have been scattered in the northwestern airfield. These keys are quite valuable on a server. They allow you to progress to the bunker and gain better stuff. So you can log on and get in the north, head down to northwestern airfield, search northwestern airfield, find a couple of keys, and enjoy yourself some goodies. That's on Flipside Chinaris. The zone has had a major update. He likes to change every month. So a whole heap of focus around ammo in mags, more heli spawns on high rises, more stashes around the map, slightly balancing in the guns, slightly balancing in the Predator style. There's event loot, so a lot of changes when it comes to the gun styles and where they're located. He's consistently updating and improving his server over time, so definitely worth kicking it off and having a look. And because of his Easter event, he's got punch cards and Easter eggs are slightly increased over the next 48 hours in the military areas. He's got a transmission event. See if you can hear this. And this one?
Near ruins in the southeast. Climb the tower surrounded by sea. From there, head southwest into the water until you see the blue light.
Always full of sound files. It looks like a radio distress signal, which is in Morse code. Bloke goes above and beyond when it comes to his server. That's the zone. Definitely get out there and give it some love. But that's about what's happening with the events. Our episode topic discussion today is Experimental 1.26. Now, Mr. Q, me and yourself jumped on last night with streamer Undead Gamer. A few other people joined us. And we got the ability to get out there and test the cars. I think DayZ did a fantastic job with presenting the cars in a server. You could just jump on, find the nearest spawn. If a car's there, everything's in the back. You can get the fuel, the water, even some stuff to fix it, and you can give them a hammering. Firstly, what's your thoughts about the cars? How they've improved? How they handled? You seem to keep your cars intact. Well, I wrote mine off quite quickly.
I'll start off by saying this is becoming a bit of a fucking habit, but oh my God, well done, devs. Well done. They are fucking amazing.
It's a good habit. Keep up the work.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'm enjoying giving them a lot more praise than I do beefing on them lately. It's just fantastic. It really is. The way they drive, like, for all those bloody dicks out there constantly spamming them, fix the cars are broken, fix the cars. Yeah, you can't complain no more because they are surely fixed.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. There's going to be a big struggle with people wanting to comment about fix the cars now.
Yeah.
That's an absolutely brilliant point. They're going to have to find another point to get back on the high horse over. But yeah, I 100% agree with you. The cars, if it comes out unofficial or to the game, because we know there may be some porting issues, but if that comes across, that's going to be fire. Absolute fire.
Well, I mean, I was getting stuttering on the server just running around playing usual little bit of lag because it's an LA server. And I was driving, wasn't feeling any of that stuttering. It felt like a completely different driving system.
Yeah, it felt like we were on local servers. Mr. 303 Gamer, hello, good
Yeah.
sir, how you doing? Definitely, we were on LA 8302 last night, and it was 150 odd Ks down the coast with 40 pops on official. That doesn't happen.
Nah, not at all. I found something to dig at them about.
Here we go.
There's only 2 mainly car servers, and it's a Europe one and an American one. Not to mention there's only maybe 6 or 8
In
XP
total,
servers. They need to put more XP. I don't understand why they don't just make them all mini cars.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that either. Why they didn't just spread the car love right across. Surely they're just clones. They're just clone server. You just put the same thing on the other side.
I'm wondering if the little bit of stuttering that I was running around is because there was so many more cars on the map driving around, and maybe they didn't want that for all the XP servers. That's the only thing I could put it down to.
Yeah, that's probably true. Or, yeah, I suppose. Well, it was quite a different server. It almost felt like exclamation plus plus or 10x loot or those particular servers where it's just jump in, there's a car ready, and people were just flying around. All the roadblocks that were in place still. It's funny they adjusted everything like the car timers, stuff like that, but they didn't take into account, the door timers, the bonnets, the roofs, those sorts of things that people pulling apart and creating roadblocks with.
Yeah, people playing DayZ how it should be played. Mayhem.
See, that's not a bad idea, Mr. 303. I wouldn't mind if they made a few many car official servers. Actually bring that sort of critique to the game. Because, in fact, in official, there's only 8 of each vehicle, 3 Humvees, and 7 trucks that could be on the server at any time, which isn't many. Like, it's 1 each.
No. Well, I mean, the thing is, too, is the amount of people that go along officials and hoard up those cars and trucks. They run around, they hoard them all sitting in their base that they've got protected by 50,000 walls, 50 alts. I'm surprised they haven't done what they've done with the boats and give them a degeneration timer. So eventually they'll die,
Yeah.
So stopping people hoarding them.
Well, they're actually confined to the point that this is a transport vehicle, not hoard it, store it, and keep it for yourself. Actually use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think 303, I think you got definitely a good point there with having that many car servers. But no, I found the vehicles quite fun to drive. They're not like I'm used to. I suppose after driving for 5 years in the same cars, you get used to a certain thing, but they're highly responsive. There was a few times that, it got a little bit wild and unstuck, and they controlled very, very well. I even oversteered them because they, you're used to trying to drag them back round when they flick out and lose control. Still a little few issues with the roads, especially being Chinaris. I don't think the roads are as flat as, say, Livonia or even Sakau roads are a lot more smoother. There's a few points there that, coming high speed, the car would just ride itself off, either just hitting a bump, bottoming out. I had the Humvee do a helicopter on me. Got a brilliant little roll coming into the cami hump. But no, overall, I was very, very impressed.
There are a couple of other little issues, like driving up close behind someone, like you didn't even touch them and it just spun them out.
Yeah, the collision between the two cars is definitely a bit of an issue, especially to what we
Mm.
know as these days. We do a lot of driving, and there's a lot of rubbing of cars. We couldn't drive like we do now with those cars. There would just be a glitch fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But as
definitely,
you say, all in all, I think they've done a fantastic job.
yeah,
It was so much needed.
and smooth, and we'll ride in 3 cars deep last night, multiple cars, and you could stay in formation, even in the glitch point, so below the bus. So if you go in the below the town, there's a glitch point there at the bus. That barely made a difference. I did find coming into Novi up the top, and that industrial area that got a little rough, but that's not unusual. But apart from that, I really can't pick any faults apart from also the player interaction. That's probably the other thing. Maybe because we're not used to it. Maybe we've gotten away with it over the last 3 or 4 years, where a car would move and you would just get thrown back. Um, Trip got stuck with having the whole vehicle because we got out at Novi Sobor. I jumped out, the car slightly moved, it killed me. Noah got out to check, it rolled slightly, killed him, and then Trip was left with 2 bodies and and a car that he had to then try and maneuver and put everyone's gear back. So they're very sensitive around people, very, very sensitive around people. I actually stood on one because I noticed you could throw. So I threw a shovel inside the car, and as we drove, the shovel stayed inside for a little bit and then disappeared, like the boat. So, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, can we now coast it with the car? Could we put someone in the boot and drive around in the Humvee finally?
Yeah.
The answer is no. Player interaction with the cars
No.
is like dealing with cars on car. It is a absolute shite fight. So, Mr.
You
Reno
will die.
Dunes, yes, you will. He will die on most accounts. Insta death, instant death. Um, but apart from the cars, there's one thing that I really, really, really appreciated, and that was directly off the start, and that's the character selection screen. The ability to go back.
Yes.
No longer do I have to cycle through
Amazing.
the many numbers to try and get anywhere between 12 and 16 for my character, so I can then only press a few buttons. Doesn't matter how many times I select that male to female, and maybe 20 or 30, but I ain't doing more than that. But yes, I got on, I was able to choose my character, I was able to go backwards and forwards, it took me less time. Can we now please just save it so I never have to do it again?
Yep.
That's all I ask. But that's those little quality of life I'm liking from the updates. I'm really liking from the updates.
It's funny, they're doing many things that aren't in the patch notes as well. Every update, there's a multitude of things that are left out of the patch notes for you just to find, which is awesome.
Yeah, lots of little hidden little goodies, which is good. That's what people want to go. That gives content creation a chance. Like Wobo always streams to they're first off the bat. They're watching the dev notes, cutting their stuff and putting it straight on the film before the devs thing streams. They're processing their videos and getting them out. Mr. Reno Dunes, hello, good sir. Good morning to you. So it's just it's good to see that they are hiding a lot of stuff in there and not releasing as much. There's a lot of stuff to find.
Mm.
Going back to sounds again, putting water in the radiator sounds different. You can sit there and you can hear the water sounding like it's going in the radiator. A lot of quality of life and bringing the immersive soundboard really, really up to grade. What That was character selection. Cars. How many did we find? Well, I think I went through in the 6 hours. I think I went through about 12 cars, which isn't too bad.
Well, the way you drive, no, that's really good.
Yeah, we were. I mean, I was giving it stick the whole to all the way through, but I did enjoy the point that they had a lot of variety of cars. There was quick respawns. The coast was getting heavily peppered with getting them taken, but there was only one or two times that we struggled to really find cars and had to go inland. I was very, very impressed with that sort of formulation and that sort of organization from the devs. You know, water in the back, repair kits. Would have liked to see some spare parts, but I'm not going to push it.
Well, no, I think considering that they're so easy to find, I don't think they needed to.
No, 100%.
I mean, the fact that you walk away from a car for more than 10 minutes, that just despawned on you, is good too. So at least it stops people from just like going through, dragging all those cars and parking them up on the edge of the map somewhere. And just having like fucking 50 cars sitting on the edge of the map.
Yeah, well, that's what usually happens. People, especially on a fresh wipe, they'll put themselves together. They've got enough parts to grab either one car or a car with just wheels, and then they'll use another car to push the other car around. And they'll just start moving them around the map. They'll take them off the spawn points. And I'd say when you're only dealing with 40 cars, 8 trucks and 3 Humvees, it doesn't take much to be able to take most of the cars off the map and completely wipe them from anyone else. But I think cars in the next couple of updates are going to play a very important role. They'll no longer be the just going to use it for a quick transport. These things will be getting moved. There's a lot of gunfights that we went through where people shooting the cars and you came out unscathed. You could drive them. It wasn't all of a sudden lag switch fest because somebody started opening fire and the car had to do glass sounds. And no, it was very, very impressive. And to the point that I even messaged Marks and said the update was fire and I'm looking forward to it to come out. So that was very, very good.
Yeah, well, when he watches this, he can at least be happy that for once I'm not bagging on him. They did a good job.
100%, but that's what we're here for. We're here to keep them, on their toes. We're not one of these ones that are just going to be here to, say yes sir, no sir. We are a podcast that has the voice. We're about the people and the people bringing their voices. So,
the one thing that that interested me about the cars is where they got the not the mechanic but the system from. That it came from the Armorer Forger system.
Yeah.
So does that mean in the future we can start seeing other things from Armorer Forger being leaked into the game?
Well, I honestly think that is the move. I think by how the cars move and how the boats move, there's a quite a similar movement style and smoothness. And I think what they're going to do is they'll pull the whole vehicle mechanics from Armory Forger and bring them across to DayZ, which means we may see helicopters. May see helicopters. Which would be nuts.
God, that'd be amazing.
Fuck crazy.
Yeah.
But
they were just running around trying to find the boys for 4 or 5 hours. It's we're like, all right, get in the chopper, we're going to pick everyone up.
Yeah, that's it. And then getting absolutely smashed on the coast by people shooting at the copter and stuff with their pistols.
Yeah.
Hey, Code, how you doing, bro? But yeah, that's sort of movement into that generation. Is this the start of the the latest Xbox updates? Do we finally, are they the pieces that we're missing to really put that game together and have it running like Arma Reforger with, beautiful vehicles, multiple people in trucks, the bus, that sort of stuff. Is that what we're looking forward to with, this sort of vehicle mechanic coming through and being incorporated?
One thing I didn't think about, because we don't have anyone that runs it anymore, but how are the vehicles running on old gen? Does anyone know through EXP?
I don't know. I'd be very surprised. I'll have to find. Who do I know that's on old gen? We'll have to get someone in and have to have a little chat and see what they. And I'll have to actually do some research and see if I can find someone. You late to the party?
Yeah.
Who do we have on the panel? Well, Kobe, we're talking about the experimental 1.28. We jumped on there last night. They've got a couple of mini car servers where there's a few 100 cars that you can jump on, have a crack. That all the stuff's in the back, and to be honest, the cars run absolutely beautiful. Like they're a whole new system. But there's also, quite a variety of stuff in the update, sounds, the wall. Did you test out the wall and the player mechanic with the guns?
No, I didn't. I completely forgot to.
So
I was having too much fun blasting around in cars.
that is the problem, because the server is just so much. You're just driving around on a 60 pop server. There's cars everywhere. We had so many interactions with people in cars. We had so many interactions with people shooting the cars. We had, we're just sitting up there at one point, and this car came into the city about 8,000 miles an hour and doing flips in front of us because they crashed, and then they got the right way and we shot at them. And that's what you're going to find on the many car servers. There's just a lot of scrimmages for cars. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of people inland. And that was the exciting thing. There was a lot of people inland. Cars were pushing people hard off the coast and directly inland. Northwestern Airfield was pumping with people. So if you're out there looking for stuff, just be careful. It is pumped out there. But we were on 3802 and LA server, smooth as butter for the Aussies and New Zealand. And usually it's a 200 ping, and I was flogging cars. Absolutely flogging cars. I got a little... I don't know if I'll be able to get this little instance. Yeah, we could probably pull it from here. Yeah, we're not even worried about my vitals. I'll be dead by the time fucking...
Alright, I'll fill up gas. I'll fill up radiator.
Any of this will get to me. Let's go. Right. So this is directly off the VOD. Oh, very responsive. And that's what I found with them, very responsive.
Oh yeah, the cars, they're smooth as butter. I really hope I find a mag for this OAR. If I can get a mag and that fucking marksman scope, it is over.
Now this is a 40 odd pop official server in LA, so you're looking at 200 odd ping.
And a lot of people driving at the same time too, which usually affects driving quite a lot.
Yep, a lot of crap on the road.
Hear each other. Hello, boys. Hello. Yeah, nice.
Oh, you're flying, man.
I found they've lost the top. There's a top speed element lost. You used to be able to get this thing up to 196, especially on this coast,
Guys
but
has lost the balls, but
you just can't get it. It just sits at that fifth gear and holds there. And I found out with a lot of the cars, their top ends have died out.
I'm currently doing 150, about to do 150 through Cami. Cami hump, here we go.
I mean, not necessarily a bad thing, though.
No, especially for me.
Roll this like a badass, so we're gonna launch it. 152 over the Cami hump and snap it. Nice.
And this is what happens if you hit Cami hump.
Oh, there it is. Oh, yes.
Let's grab a boy jug.
Oh, shit. Go, Jack.
And we're good.
Cami hump.
I'm lying bad.
Don't hit that at 150.
And it's still off and driving again.
It's still off
That's
drive.
awesome.
You know what I mean? Nice and smooth. And then usually this area here, this is where things get a bit rough. But it's just... It's just look. There's a little kick up from the other one there.
Jumped you little shit.
Greed's gonna get there as soon as we get
I've already done 12 barrel rolls. Just saying.
You're just driving over those parts. Usually that'll stop you.
Usually, yeah.
Gives you a decent speed.
Usually that puts you in your tracks. Yeah, it stops you in your tracks. But no. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah. So that was the cars flying out from Selinsky all the way down to Cami. As you can see, hit the hump. The hump was just hectic. There was about 14,000 barrel rolls. But car straight back up, driving, no problems, Cami, no problems. So I think they're done at Q. I think we can't complain about the cars anymore. Depending on how it comes to the original game. If it comes across all right and it comes across without any problems, then we should be good.
Yeah.
That is the if, but, or maybe. Anyway, the wall and player interaction. Played with this a little bit. Played with it with a long rifle with the Mosin. Now, the Mosin doesn't come back as far as you want to, but there's a few trees that are thin enough that it doesn't affect, so you won't even come up. But I think the key will be for your small arm pistols. Hey, Jarv. We had the new rack, 57, I think. Rack 57, 37, something like that. Little handgun that's obviously the baby sister of the Scorpion. Had that cracking. Now that you could hold right up against a wall, it would almost disappear from your view in first person, and you could then lean and it would pop outside. But you could also shoot with it nice and tucked. So I think that mechanic's going to affect more of your third person people, especially tucking that gun up against the wall. And yeah, I'm not sure it's going to affect. It won't affect me because I'm not one to. I don't face up against the wall. I tend to take on a harder angle, so I'll come right back off the doorway and scan the angle of the door rather than try and take it real close to the door. Sniping will be a lot easier, especially out of windows. Trying to get close enough to the window that the gun doesn't come up and get further enough away to be able to still see out of it with a clear enough shot. I think those things are a thing of the past now. So I was very impressed with it, of how it reacted. I'm going to go through and do a little video of all things I found on 1.28. So if you missed any of the run last night, you can catch up on all that. But yeah, very, very, very impressed with what they've done with holding the guns up against the walls, sniping, especially in the trees. Anything you carve down for a stick, it wouldn't even kick up. So you could be, you know, fighting somebody inside that bushy area. You know what it's like. You pull your gun down, go take a shot, and the stick goes past, and your gun goes straight up. That won't be a problem anymore. In the thicker trees and the big woody ones, yeah, 100%, but not in the thin ones. Very, very impressed.
Which is good because they did mention that they're improving the PvP, and little things like that do make a huge difference, I think.
Yeah.
Even with the handguns, the close combat, if you get a freshie coming at you trying to smash you up and you got a pistol, yeah, you keep trying to pull that pistol out and it's raising up. You don't have to worry about that anymore.
100%. You get rushed by somebody and that where you can't actually shoot them because they're bashing you, and it's a fight between you, melee attacking them with the gun and them bashing you still. I think you'll actually get some shots off. You'll be able to just pull that trigger and go pop, 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 and just push them back that way. But very, very impressed. Very impressed. The new gun, the little rack. Did you get your hands on it? Did you get to have a fire of it? Did you get to play with it, Mr. Q?
Nah, I found the mag and that was it.
Oh.
I think it was just rinsed. I got all the way up to Len and I couldn't find it there at all. I checked every bloody police station on the coast trying to find it.
Yeah, well, I ended up finding two. I found a couple of mags. I actually nearly killed 2 people with it. It's not as good as the Scorpion. I would have preferred the Scorpion at the time that I had a guy to fight, because that Scorpion just drops all 20 bullets in about half a second. It's a little slower on the fire rate. Yeah, so...
What size? Is it the same size as the Scorpion? What's the Scorpion? Scorpion 12? 12 in inventory?
In mags? Oh, as in size-wise?
No, as in the size.
12, I think. I couldn't even tell you what this one is. I'll see if I've got a little clip of trying to drop this guy.
I want to see what size the Scorpion is.
Yeah, got a Scorpion across there, actually.
Yeah, Scorpion. So Scorpion is 12.
It is 12.
Yeah, so you'd want it to be the same size, if not smaller.
It might show you in the clip. But this is the rack in action. Obviously, us doing what we do, trying to find more cars because we broke the rest of them.
Do you know that peppermint liquid? That fucking
Peppermint
tastes
liquid.
like there's a person.
There's
Yeah,
a dude.
run him over. Run him over. Run him over.
Run over!
Oh, go. So as you can see,
Oh shit! Fucking cock! Fucking duck! Shit! Fucking duck! Fucking duck! Motherfucker! Fucking duck! Fucking duck! Pause the game! Pause the game! Pause the game! Pause the game! Pause it! Pause it!
Kick his ass.
yeah, that's the shambles of me and my crew just yelling at each other.
Shot me in the back of the head.
Oh shit! He's loaded! Oh shit! He's loaded! Fucking cock! Fucking cock! Fuck!
Oh, you'll be able to hear the
Gonna run and punch his ass.
what the SV sounds like.
We can like
Where
talk
is
this
he?
through, you know, and then we can
Oh.
like. Oh,
Fuck, where is
we
he?
can talk this through if you want.
Where is he?
Up in the
He's in the-
apartments.
Ah,
And as you see, we're in 7 grad, and this is what it was like right around the map.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
I
I need a gun.
He's
I need a
dead.
gun.
He's down. He's dead. I just put a bullet
Yeah,
into him.
I'm pushing.
Get-
I'm pushing in. I'm pushing in. Where is he? Where is
Up.
he?
So, not much stopping power on the actual Rack 37. There it is, Rack 37. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, as Jarvis says, it was
Yeah.
introduced in 2014, so it was introduced when it first came to standalone.
Yeah. And it still performs like it's still in standalone. Look, it didn't have much of the stopping
is it-
power.
Is it just a coastal zombie killer then?
Correct. I would find that the Scorpion will move up a tier or move along the tier line. I found the rack in Cami PD. I found the rack in Chinaras PD. I found the clip in a police situation, and I got a clip off another person. But that's the only places that I found the gun. So it's going to be the automatic high-end pistol of the coast. So whether you take someone...
Worries me though.
Yeah.
Is it one of those guns where it's just got to be left on the coast, much like the Scorpion, where no one's really going to use it that much?
Yeah.
Is it just another gun that they've put in to say, here's some content, we've given you a gun, rather than being a gun that people actually got to pick up and use all the time? It's more of just a filler for content.
Maybe.
Yes.
Maybe.
More to give them shit about.
That's it. But in saying that, so is every pistol. How often do you use the SG5? How often do you use the USG 45?
Yeah, see, that's... Yeah, see, I'd never pick them up. I'd rather pick up a pistol over them.
Yep.
Believe it or not.
And I'd have the shotgun. I'd rather a shotgun.
Mm.
Yeah. Especially if there's a BK-133 in Berenzino PD. There ain't no way I'm touching. I'm moving all past pistols and straight to shotgun.
Well, that's it. We think about it. Okay, the shotguns are so easy to find in the PDs like that. Why would you pick up the rack over a shotgun, especially when you've got such limited inventory space in the first stages?
Yeah. 100% too. Hazardous Fire Gator, this is the Peasants Podcast. This is where we sit and talk console DayZ, chat about the new updates, chat about the events, get guests on. Our focus today is on Experimental 1.28, the new cars, the new guns, the new mechanics, that sort of stuff. And welcome. But yeah, it feels like a fill gun if they don't adjust the loot and the tiers. Need to remove all the shotguns and push them out and allow people to use those small pistols on the coastal areas. But then you've really got no way to kill a gear guy on the coast. And that is why the shotguns are on the coast. Just in case. It's that balance between how the game should run and how the players play it.
Yeah, that's true.
Jarv said, it seems that they have done with all they have done with the vehicles is move the pivot point to the middle of the car, which should make it drive differently, but still nowhere near as good as Reforger. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of the Reforger run, Jarv, and Reforger just smashes it. But compared to what it used to be and what we're used to especially on the official or experimental, it's 1,000 times better. I think it's going to make.
Well, you've also
go.
you've also got to understand that Reforger is running the updated new engine. We're only running half of that engine. We're running a mix mash of engines, so we're not going to get that 100% performance that they're getting.
Yeah, we got 4 broken engines running one vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, 100%. It will be good to see that incorporation, and if it is an incorporation of Reforger, because Reforger vehicles are gorgeous. Especially, the Humvee with the turret on the roof. Where is that? Where can I put my,
Where's my tank?
that's it, or my M249 that I can then piece together and put on the top of my Humvee and drive around with somebody shooting at the top of the Humvee. How scary would the Humvee be if you heard the Humvee and you knew it had the capability of a machine gun on the top? You would shit.
Oh my god.
You would shit.
I would love the coast.
Imagine the coast, people just driving down the coast with an M4 freshies running left, right, and centre. It'd be gorgeous. Yep, it would be gorgeous. Been saying it for years, 100%. Cars are... But yeah, 128 is RPGs. Hey, you need to calm yourself down here, Jarv. You need to calm... We're not in the RPG land. It'll be a thumper. Thump. That's all you get. A roof-mounted thumper. So the difference in the cars, because cars have been quite a large topic in this update. As I said earlier, I found they don't have the top end, or they're heavier. I'm not sure. Maybe Jarb's got something there where they've moved the pivot point of the vehicle, but cars aren't faster. Undead was actually to the point that he got stuck in a Humvee on a grass hill because he couldn't get the traction down to move it.
Oh, so we've gone backwards almost with some of the mechanic of it then.
Yeah,
Because there was a stage there where you just couldn't take any cars up hills.
No, the gravity in the car was absolutely crazy. You couldn't do anything, but there was a few points there that, but for the off-road Humvee, the pinnacle of off-road and what do you call it, not to be able to grab traction, because it's an auto, you can't adjust the gear ratio to be able to try and put some power down. So it was just in first gear and spinning 4 tires.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I think they've always been let down a bit by the mechanics of the Humvee for what it is. It should be an overpowered military vehicle that can go absolutely everywhere.
Yes, 100%. It should be
it's just
unstoppable in
not.
terrain. It should have that bulletproofness that it has. It can take quite a lot of bullets without getting seriously hurt inside. But yeah, I do think it's get let down with its I don't know why it goes auto. I don't know the reason for its auto.
Yeah, I've never understood that either. Maybe just to give the people in the game, because everyone cries about cars being manual. We know that the kids these days, half of them can't drive manual anyway, so maybe they put an automatic car in just to please the younger generations.
Yeah, true. True. Very true. Where's my tectonic shifting ability where I can go from auto to manual, like in the new age cars?
Yeah.
They'll understand that one a little bit better.
100%.
But yeah, that's probably the only sort of knockback I saw of the cars in general. The scopes. Did you get your hands on any of the scopes?
No, the only thing closest to the scope that I got was the rangefinder.
Oh yeah, what did you get a battery in and stuff? I didn't get the rangefinder.
Yep. Oh, didn't you?
No.
Fucking Undead had it on him after I ended.
Oh, I think we may have died.
Selfish.
No, I think that we died a few times after you ended.
But it's actually fucking amazing. So clean to look through now.
Yep.
That makes a lot more sense, giving you your vertical, so your whether you're higher or lower distance as well.
Oh shit! It gives you the height.
Yeah.
The sea level height. So you can adjust if you
pretty good.
and angles and stuff, so you can work out if you're on a 45-degree angle shooting up or.
Mm.
Wow.
which is going to help for long distances and bullet drop. You'll be able to calculate a lot more.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the tactical shooters and stuff like that who actually know how to use a rangefinder apart from, oh, that's the distance, set my, what do you call it, shoot. Just see what information they get out of it.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
but it definitely looks way better. No more just boring square circle in the middle of the screen now. That nice red circle with lots of little flares off the side. It's good.
And it's a bit wider in its viewage too, isn't it? It's more of the ACOG looking scope.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Jarv says the only way to sense the difference between Reforger and DayZ vehicles is to test them. The Sarkron Reforger is like night and day between them. Yeah, I'll definitely have to get some vehicles cranking on Reforger. Get Mr. Very Silent Bob or yourself, Jarv, to give them a test and a rundown, and maybe we do the same here on the podcast. When the update comes out, we'll give it a good testing. I mean, we've got all the facilities for it, so there's absolutely no problem with that. And then we can really dive in and see the comparisons between them. But the difference between 1.27 cars and 1.28 cars, as long as they come out like that, and I keep reiterating that because there's a lot of the times the experimental field doesn't come out in the update. If they bring that out as it is, cars improvements will go through the roof. The other thing I found on experimental, did you find that you sprinted faster, or you felt like you were running faster?
No, I didn't even take notice of it, actually.
No. Maybe it was just me being off the game for, a couple of days or stuff like that. But I found the character moved in a sprint faster, like traveled at a greater speed slightly. Let me see if I can find the little section that I had on it. It was right at the start. Good sign. A little bit back from that. Heavily pilfered. Plenty of 22 rounds. No one likes a 22. Get away. This is probably the best example. I just found the character sprinter, even to the point where I went and walked to try and gauge it. T-shirts, some clothes, tea. Oh, really getting undressed. We're dropping the duds. Hey, like he's
You're right. It does seem like, yeah.
scooting around. Hoodie.
No, fully. You're moving heaps faster.
A bit faster on the run too. And even here, I'm like, okay, well, that's RP walk, and then in the flat out sprint. Character seems like he's moving a bit faster.
It does seem like sprinting is faster.
Yeah, like the run has a lot more push. Adjusted stamina is to get the player on experiment moving around the map faster. You reckon it's not going to be a permanent thing? I mean, you are right, adjusted stamina, but it just seems the character themselves, the run animation was quicker. Which is, hey, I don't mind a faster player. But yeah. I just wonder if that's going to carry over. And are those sorts of adjustments, is that what we're looking at when we get the final product of why we don't see the extra performance? Because they do makes, adjust stamina so players can move on XP more faster. Someone thinks, oh, wow, this is good, I like this, and then gets to the update and it's back to being Slow Joe again.
Well, an easy way to test it would be to jump at XP, go for a run, and then jump on normal, go for a run, and then put the two clips side by side.
Yeah. But yeah.
Sounds like too much work for me.
I can always, I got plenty of clips of me running, so put them side by side and have a look. But I did feel like the motion of it was a lot better and a lot faster, but the actual, I know you can adjust the stamina and how much you can run, but it felt like the run was a quicker sprint.
I mean, that could be part of the things. How they said they're adjusting a lot of things to change PvP. If you can move around a lot faster, it's definitely got an impact on PvP a lot.
Especially with bait shooting and stuff like that. That's where it really excel too. But yeah, that was just one of the things I sort of, you see and you watch and you flag, and it just felt like this character was just like a young, vibrant 20-year-old Greedy rather than old man Pete stumbling around the map. I felt a little vitality, a little youth. Population and the temperament. Yeah, but that just takes away from the tactics of PvP. 100% Jav. PvP has to go down to a tactical situation and has always come down to a tactical situation in DayZ. No point in having big sprint offs and stuff like that. You should monitor your
We're not COD. We don't want to be sliding on the ground and
no.
Yeah,
you drop your bag for extra stamina. You have your loot so you can drop your bag, you hide it, forget where it is. Yeah, in PvP we'll drop our bags and get speed. Yeah, see, you would shift your load. Remember where your load was. Make sure your inventory is kitted to the point that you could drop your supplies of your bag and then merge into PvP. Correct. And I think DayZ players adapt more than other players in these sorts of games. But the population and the temperament of the population was quite good. Both many cars servers were about 3/4 full. There's a few other people on other servers. The servers weren't packed at the time that we were on. But the temperament was savage.
See, when I first jumped in, probably 2 hours before you started streaming, I was sitting in a 5 for like 20 minutes.
Shit.
So it was popping off earlier.
Just that was on the US servers that we just missed the bulk.
Yeah, it seems to happen at that time after that server reset. It dies down a bit. I think all the US people go, "Oh, right, it's time to go to bed now. It's like midnight."
Yeah. Well, it is. It's about 11. It's about 11, 12 o'clock, depending on where they are in the US. But it isn't that nightscape. And I do find that with a lot of servers, it gets to that reset point and everyone's like, right, time for bed.
I mean, the temperament I found, so when I first started jumping on before I met up with Undead, it was spawn in, fist fights. Standard spawn in, fist fight, everyone's going crazy. And then once me and Undead had joined up, we came across 3 or 4 people that were friendly, came down, fished with us, helped gather food, and we moved on up through Cherno. And it was different. It was actually a lot friendlier. Hey, let's help each other find cars and let's go. So for the first part of it was actually was a different. I haven't had that in DayZ for a long time, where people are just like, "Oh, hey, what's up? You want to help us do this? Okay, let's go." Haven't had that for ages.
Yeah, I think it was we were talking about that. I think it was the pioneer days that when the Pioneer first came out, that everyone was searching for the Pioneer and trying to help each other get it. No, I was watching Mr. Undead's server stream before I jumped on, and you could see you guys were all racking in with freshies, and you all made your way to Cherno and had separate cars and stuff, and that full camaraderie on the coast was, yeah, it was good. And then the Peasent entered the server, and things went to shit.
Kill,
Yeah,
made, destroy.
it was all kill, maim, destroy. I got in several gunfights. There was a lot of car ramming. Yeah,
Speaking about gunfights,
yeah,
notice the difference in recoil.
yeah.
Did you feel it was increased a lot or still manageable?
Well, I didn't get anything that had the heavy recoil on it. So the rack didn't have much of a recoil on it, but it's shooting pellets. And the only other thing I had was the SV98, which was was a full blown sniper rifle. I didn't get a chance to get an auto like a KA-74, a Kazu, or anything like that. I think the recoil is completely is harsher.
Hmm.
Oh, that's going to be interesting for gunfights.
Yeah. It's going to make it a lot harder.
Yeah, 100%. Which is good, especially if they then add in the ability to change your attachments to help that recoil and stuff. Is this the age of where the attachments and stuff really come into effect?
Well, that's the thing that I've always noticed about the attachments, because the different attachments are supposed to affect recoil and sway. But I've really, you don't notice it from attachment to attachment. It's negligible.
Yeah, no. And there's no OP, you don't get the M4 and say, right, you get QBC equipment on it and you'll have the best, it's designed for that small, short quarters, or you get, the tactical equipment on it and it's better for, the long distance shooting. I've never heard any of that. I've never seen any of that. I've never experienced any of that.
Yeah, but that's what the attachments that we have are supposed to do. That's supposed to be the difference between the stocks and the guards. But it's just you're just non-noticeable.
Nah, but
sure, if you're firing against a wall and letting it do its own thing of its recoil, then you'll notice it. But otherwise, nah.
Not into a fight. Not when you're having a, shift around and you're squirting like 4 or 5 bullets at people. And no, I don't notice really much of the.
Which is a shame, because you look at games like COD that have the attachments, and each attachment does do something noticeable to the gun throughout different attachments. It's a shame that our attachments here don't really make that much of a difference, especially when you take like the MP, for example, that has so many attachments, it's not fucking funny. None of them really do fuck all.
No one uses the gun to start off with because there is no advantage to it. You know what I mean? We just bypass it straight to the Kazu from a shotgun.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that though, that's a bit harder to do, because they last update they dragged the Kazu up a tier. So you're not going to find it at like Salino or anything anymore.
Yeah, that's true. But even still, I don't even look at the SMGs. The only SMG I ever take account for that's ever given me anything is the Scorpion, because it's the only thing that delivers enough firepower instantaneously to take out anything.
Or the SMG that no one calls an SMG, the Vicar.
The Vicar, yeah. I don't even pick that bastard up. I hate it.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
I think it's a fucking good gun. Problem is, ammo for it's so hard to find, and I wouldn't class it as an SMG.
No, maybe a small AR. Like I've got it on my back right now, and I use it because I don't mind it as a gun like that, but I don't favour it in an official world. It's that I'd rather have a shotgun and a Mosin.
Yeah.
Maybe that's because I've always relied on those two and they've never let me down. And I've been let down by plenty of SMGs where you're like, I just pumped 25 bullets of 45 into this bloke and he still took me out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's that time to kill is different.
Yeah, time to kill.
Yeah. So with an SMG, your time to kill might be 5 seconds, whereas a shotgun time to kill, it's like 2.
Yeah.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah. If you can get the jump, yeah, but yeah, that's the difference. You can pull out and go boom and knock someone straight out one shot with a shotgun. Whereas, I mean, I've killed someone with a Bison, a couple of lucky headshots, but you saw in that clip there that were 4 close range direct shots to the a non-plate carry civilian clothes wearing, and they just absorbed it and were able to run off. Whereas he long distance shotgunned me twice and it took my health down to half.
Yeah.
So, they've got to bring a bit more value to that small arm pistol SMG range, I think. I don't care because I don't use them. So,
This is why you don't use them, though. And what they want is they want people to use a different variety of weapons, so they need to make them viable so people want to pick them up.
Definitely. Well, and Jarv, you're right. How many people use hold breath? I only use it for sniping.
I only use it for messing with people when they're standing under me in a building.
Make your breathing sound like you're having some fun upstairs.
Yeah.
And my last little rundown from this little topic. Best places to find the new stuff and the cars. Well, cars-wise is anywhere there's a spawn. They basically, I think they've filled all the spawns up and it doesn't take long for a car to come. You could probably even hang around if you don't see one and one may appear. Walk away, come back, they'll come back. Scopes. Scope-wise, I found the sports shooter, I think it's called. I think it's called the sports shooter or something like that, the little 2 times. I found that in towns. I found that in low-tier hunting. So if you're looking for that new little rail-mounted sniper scope, it's in those lowers. The only thing I didn't like is it didn't go on the Mosin. Wouldn't attach to the Mosin on the PU.
Good.
So,
Mosin shit.
Yeah.
Use VSD.
That's it. And put it in the bin with the Mosin. Because it's a piece of shit too. The rack. The rack I found on the coast. Head up any of the police stations, but they're pretty valued out there. Oh, you can bind it so you raise weapon, aim down sights, and hold breath all at the same time. But you can't. You didn't hear that from me. On keyboard and mouse, I think you can. You can't do that on the controller. Keyboard and mouse, you might be able to do. Hi, I'm new here. Rabbit sent me in. I'm new to playing DayZ. Welcome to the addiction. Kid Bambita. From my PvP days. Yeah, 100%. See, that'll be alright. That'll be on the keyboard and mouse. The 10x scope found at Northwestern Airfield. So if you're looking for that VSD enhancer. You'll need to go to Northwestern Airfield. Apparently, it's there.
That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. VSD.
Oh, that's right.
VSD.
Did you find the PSO6?
No.
No.
It doesn't matter because the VSD is so fucking hard to find on official servers anyway. I mean, heli hunting.
Well, that's
heli
why.
hunting.
That's why I stick with the Moser. At least you can find it.
Yeah, because no one wants it. It's a piece of shit.
100%. And the Blaze, we couldn't find a Blaze last night.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yep. Because in our little adventures, we found a little issue. There's a little glitch that you can do in experimental at the moment for unlimited shotgun ammo. Unlimited shotgun ammo. Of course, when you hand it to the brains of Noah, he will heavily abuse it. He went from one shotgun shell to 142 in about 15 minutes.
Jesus.
So double barrel shotgun, load one in, unload it, two appear. Put two in, unload it, two more appear. Put two in, unload it, two more appear. Rinse and repeat until you have the desired. So yeah, the double barrel shotgun is currently glitched. It will just reproduce ammo on its own. Just load it, reload it, and it will produce. So if you see a double barrel and it's got one shot, unload it, load it, reload it, unload it with a double Y or double unload, and you get more ammunition. So
I wonder if the same thing would happen with the Blaze.
which is why we were trying to find a Blaze to see if it would happen. Because we couldn't, no other gun would do it, and we realised it was something to do with obviously the double barrel gun itself. So we're going to track down and try and knock down a Blaze to try and get that. But if you're unofficial, you find a double barrel, you currently have unlimited shotgun rounds.
And let's not forget, if you run into any issues like that, you can very easily now access the link to the feedback through your pause menu in-game.
Yep. It's a question, do you lose ammo when you reload without shooting? No, you don't. It usually either goes into your inventory or on the ground if your inventory's full. Or if you've got a space that, say, your inventory's full and you've got a pot, it'll go into the pot or the bear or a secondary spot. It will try and find a spot in your inventory to locate that bullet. Otherwise, it will place it on the ground. But, yeah. That's update 1.28. Mr. Q, got some biz for us?
Well, what I'll do is I'll bring in server update, which I'm quite happy about.
Yep.
And then I'll talk about my little bit of biz about 1.28.
Yep, fire away.
So today we had a brand new update for Bastion. New series for the Bastions just come out.
Ooh, this is Bastion
Beautiful
RP.
server, she is.
This is a city-style RP server. They basically wall off a city and everyone's confined into the city, and the law is that no one can escape the city because it's that you're safer inside.
Correct. So it's been updated to change server hosts. I've introduced a wipe. There's going to be more community-driven events. There's going to be a permit system now to allow access outside of the walls. More job opportunities, more opportunities to become your own boss in the server. They brought back the black market. More unique POIs inside the city. It's just opened as of like 2 hours ago. It's Bastion RP. Jump in and have a good look at it. Awesome server.
Yeah, I've had a few cracks.
Definitely recommend it.
Mr. Q got me onto it a little while ago. A very interesting dynamic where a lot of the population is confined to one city, and you then have to negotiate. And with a lot of people, interaction is fat. You don't have to be the hardcorest RPist. You just have to be someone who can play a character and stick to your character. There it is there. There's the Discord if you want to go check it out. Great server. I know Mr. Reno Junes gets into it all the
Great
time.
server.
So, yeah.
Runs high pop most of the time, high to full pop, which is amazing for a 50 slot RP server.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely went through its growing pains, but I think it's, as all servers, you've got to find your happy medium when bringing something new to the table. And I think they've nailed it. 100% on the biz.
I think so. All right. So my little things of 1.2a is, as I mentioned earlier, the little things that they don't tell you that they've done. And I've actually got a gripe with one of them that makes no
Ooh.
sense to me. It's going to absolutely destroy the loot economy on official servers.
Fuck,
It's
all
the
right.
gas zones.
Oh.
The gas zones have now been extremely reduced. Extremely reduced. To the point now, if you find yourself a combat mask or a gas mask, you can loot the whole zone and get out quite easily with 3 bandages.
Shit. Yeah, okay.
I don't understand why they've done it. It makes no sense.
And they are quite considerably smaller because I accidentally put a car into Palana air base, military base, and the gas was not as close as it used to be.
No, well, what we did is we were driving through and we stopped to search that first little guard shack. And then we noticed, there's no gas down at the first set of barracks. We
Oh,
ran all the way
shit.
down the driveway and got all the way to the bottom gates is where the gas starts now. The bottom gates.
Of those
That's
hills.
insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's easy grab.
So I'm the easy grab, which is not very good because in about 5 minutes, Undead had an LAR, had another SMG, had tons of ammo. It's like, well, why? Why would you do that? Considering all the top tier weapons are supposed to be hiding behind there. Yet we've got 2 right on the coast now that you can access just by going into a fire station and then running straight to them with a gas mask.
I wonder if they're going to increase the potency. Wonder if they're going to double them up or anything like that, so they're smaller but super toxic. But I think
I'm not sure.
I think they need to be bigger.
Yeah, I think so too, because as it was already pretty easy to get it in and out without a full NBC.
Yeah.
As we found out the other week, on the flip side, that's not that hard to get in and out.
No. Yeah, and even that was a bit of a struggle.
I'm not sure whether it's them trying to pander to the community, saying that it's too hard to find all those top tier weapons like the M4, the KAM, how they're locked behind the gas and that's hard to get to. Where they're trying to be like, okay, look, it's not so hard now, you can get in. I'm not sure. But I can see it causing major problems.
Especially official-wise, and especially for, that gas zone limited at wipes, limited the dupers and stuff like that from obtaining, this stuff straight off the bat in the first couple of days. That's only going to make it easier.
Well, it's not only that. It's more the mission. There's supposed to be part of the mission that you can play for a few hours trying to get that full NBC together to get into the gas and that. Whereas they've pretty much destroyed the mission statement.
Yeah, get a gas mask, go get an LAR. Don't even worry about heading to the inland.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be quite concerning.
I don't know.
I've done it to you again, Q. You've gone from the highest to high on the cars down to the lowest to lows to the easy loot now. They can't balance you out, can they? Fucking bastards.
They can't. Well, they just need to be consistent with the updates to keep you happy.
Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I think the update is quite fire. The gas zone is going to be a major concern. High layer 2 needs to be earned. High layer loot needs to be not get a spawn in Berenzino, grab a gas mask at the fire station, and already be LA deep. because you murdered three freshies on the way and took their bandies. That's it. Done.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we'll have to I'll put all that into a video and we'll give it across to DayZ, fire it across, and fingers crossed they fix that, because that's definitely no good.
Well, no, well, I can see it causing a lot of issues on official. A lot of issues. Not so bad with community, because we can always change it ourselves, you know, make it harder. And 9 times out of 10, most people don't use the static gas on community anyway.
No, they're mid-tier runners. We discussed that on another show, that, you know, people hit that mid-tier run. But is it straight from low tier to high tier now? Straight into the... Yeah, straight into Riffy. And we always said that Riffy was a bad point to put it, because it's always been that. People just dive in with their friend, chuck as much shit out for an M4 and then die and then resurface and come back and grab it.
It's the same with Pavlova, you know. The gas zones are in the wrong spots. That's why I quite like Livonia's gas zone. The way that's put is a good spot to have it. Maybe not the Galinska, but definitely right in the middle of the map's a good spot.
Yeah. And I don't think they need two. I think they could only... If they dealt with one, there'd be a lot more concentration to it. You know, if you had Polana, you had the one that's in Livonia, and then, of course, where do you put it in Sakau? Do you cover the valleys of the volcano with gas? Do you make the military gas? Do you make the other island gas? Yeah. It's going to come out because there's a wide NBC outfit, so gas is definitely on the agenda for Sakau, and that's already copped a beat up from start to now. It's starting to get a lot better. You know, the update on Sakau is going to have burning tires. You're going to get the land.
No. Do you know what the burning tires are for? And you should know now, because Warpurge's event is out.
No, is it Warpurge? Is it?
Yeah. So at Sakau, instead of having the bonfires, they have tire fires.
Okay. All right.
So it made a little bit of sense.
Okay. Well, I'm back on team fire tire. Because now that makes a little bit more sense. That's fair enough. But yeah.
Yeah. So the fire tire is for Warpurge's event.
No, that's all right then. That's good. Which makes a lot more sense. But I am looking forward to the sea and the sea events, the dynamic events on sea. It's a shame we can't get out and test the cow on experimental.
Well, what I don't understand is, why didn't they just give us those events in Chinaris, just to test the events for us?
Yeah.
Instead of locking it behind Sakau. As usual, beat up on the devs. Why don't we have Sakau on EXP?
Yeah.
And if you're not going to give us Sakau on EXP, then don't release all this cool shit and show us and be like, here it is. Oh, but you can't have it.
Or incorporate it into Chinaris. There's no reason why they couldn't make a custom server, put an ice float at the middle of Chinaris Ocean and put all the Sakau shit out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can go out to, what you would call as Utes Island, and, we could check out the medical one. We could check out, that the temperatures out there are freezing anyway, so it's not going to really matter. But yeah, a small breath of Sakau, an ice float. Yeah, it'd be something good. But things like that, that's all the bureaucracy of, high top-end gaming and Xbox, and as Jarv set up, PlayStation look like they're not even getting mods. So PlayStation's going to find it hard to get all those modified servers on Arma, which now puts a downturn to mods on console DayZ. So I, for one, am happy about that. I don't mind no mods on console DayZ. Keep doing what you're doing. Add it into the game legitimately so we then can bend it.
Yeah.
100%. All right. Well, definitely great biz. Anyone in chat got anything they would like to drop? Anything they would like to put forth? Otherwise, me and Mr. Q are going to draw weapons and shoot each other, because that's how we end the show. That's how we do it here. I don't think so. Maybe a little delay. But yeah, definitely go check out Experimental 1.28. Go and test out the cars, especially if you're on the old gen. Give us a yell next podcast. Let us know how you went, old gen. If you want to text me, put a message out, anything like that, you are more than welcome to. But yeah, get out there and test it out, give it a run, and give those devs some feedback. Be honest of how your system runs it, because fortunately that's how it is. But apart from that, I think that's all we have now. Oh fuck, there is there. Get up, Pez. Oh. So he thinks he's got me. But doesn't know the power of the peasant. Doesn't know the power of the peasant. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, that's our podcast done and dusted. I'd like to thank you all for joining us.
It's the Peasant Podcast. We're having a blast with the DayZ community, so take a seat real fast. Server owners and coders, content creators and streamers, showing off the community with all their features. Issues with updates, someone's mistake, new things they added, angry players it makes. Get in chat, voice your opinion. You're the community and we wanna listen. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community. The greedy peasant, he runs the show, but without his team this wouldn't be so. The queen peasant, who runs the chat with a friendly hello, make sure you say it back. Survival role play, choose a character, hold the dev accountable on every single matter. Social media and TikTok, she likes to toast. Smiley's a people person, new friends on the coast. It's the Peasant Podcast, we're having a blast with the DayZ community, so take a seat real fast. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community. The greedy peasant, he runs the show, but without his team this wouldn't be so. The queen peasant, who runs the chat with a friendly hello, make sure you say it back. It's the Peasant Podcast, we're having a blast with the DayZ community, so take a seat real fast. It's the Peasants Podcast, TPP, putting out the word about the DayZ community.